Yes, welcome back to Phone Lookup. Thanks for watching our videos. So we have this iPhone 6, and this phone doesn't charge, or at least without you having to twist the USB cable in the port. So this is what we have to solve today, and now I believe it will be a perfect experience. And so if you have your iPhone 6 out there and someone has told you, nah, you cannot repair the charging problem, you may need to really outsource it. No. Fear no more. Just stay with me until the end of the video and see what we have to do. Now, when the phone is not charging, or at least not charging without you having to bend it, there are two things that you really have to first find out. Now, since I haven't been the one with this phone, I need to verify how true that claim is. Okay, let me wake the phone up. Home button, and I am actually using a new USB. Basically, I haven't even unsealed it, so I am going to plug it in and try to see if I can reproduce the symptom that this client claims is what they do. Observe. Wake it up, get my Thunderbolt cable, plug it in, and then when I plug it in, when you look at the battery icon, I do not see anything right there. Now let me attempt to bend and see if I get anything close to charging icon. Okay, after bending it slightly upward, I think you can see and hear the sound of the charger detected. Just a moment. Right there, I get that Thunderbolt release. Nothing. Bend it some more. So the first thing is actually to look into the charging port and first check it for any signs of dirt and debris. Let me get my pin, super glue pin. It will help me pick out any piece of fabric that might be clogging the charging port itself. Yeah, so let's go right ahead and open these screws. So I only have one here, so it will just act as our demo. And my screwdriver is not magnetized, and by the way, always keep the screws. It's very hard to get a replacement for it, seeing that there are quite a few iPhones on our local market, so you do not want to go losing it. Now the way you open this phone is by lifting out the front screen, but then you have to do it beginning from the bottom side, this side, because at the top there are actually fibers that bring signals from the motherboard into the screen or LCD layer, and also the touch or digitizing layer, and down to the home button. Now you have to watch out for those. If you are tempted to pry it from the top side, you'll rip them apart. So now we get right into that area with our blade. Make sure the top side does not move. Open it by the bottom side like that. This is to protect our fibers at the top part. Those are the fibers we need to be careful about. Now this battery connector usually should have a plate that actually restrains it. In the event of a fall, the battery shouldn't jump out of its socket. We need to pry out the battery, so we will bring our prying tool, get in there and lift it. However, if you don't have this, you can use your fingernail, but avoid using anything metallic. You can't be certain of what you made short out. Now, having done that, we are interested in cleaning our port, so I will put back the screen but not press it all the way, just to allow for me to be able to grip my phone well. So first thing is, I am going to first clean the port, try to remove any dirt or fabric that may be clogging this port. I don't seem to get so much of the dirt, but you can see some of that. Occasionally this could just be what's causing your phone not to charge, and the USB is simply not reaching the entire depth of the charging port. So that's the first thing. That's unclog your port. I know it's a very simple trick and could save you a lot of shillings or dollars, cents and shillings. Yeah, I usually advise that you watch the video from the beginning to the end. In between somewhere there, I tend to give tips on how to make sure everything goes on perfectly, things to heed, and general rules of thumb to follow when doing such tasks. Now, having done this, I want to think I have been thorough enough. I hope I have been thorough enough in removing all the dirt. You can see all that right there was inside our pot. Now that's a lot of dirt, and it's only natural that it happens, seeing that we live in surroundings that are dusty and full of fabric and debris floating in the air. So over the years, these pile up here, and with a bit of sweat, since these phones are always in our pockets, they end up forming sort of like solids. Okay, I like to think that is sufficient cleaning, and since this is metallic, I am also using it to rub onto the small contact points at the bottom, sort of in an attempt to polish them up, just in case of any corrosion causing them to not make proper electrical contact with our USB Thunderbolt pin. Having done that, now I'm going to just try to see if the cleaning actually corrected the having to bend a little bit so as to charge. So let's get our battery back, place that in. Now that's plugged in, and we shall bring our USB and plug it in and see if it responds normally. Now the phone has woken up on the first attempt, but let's not be quick to think we've fixed this. Let's simply wait for it to power on, and we see if the Thunderbolt cable or sign at the battery icon will be stable on the initial attempt of inserting the USB Thunderbolt cable into the phone. It's powering. So anyway, it has woken up, but we still do not have Thunderbolt. So this shows us that we are on the forward step. So I have noticed I do not have to use a lot of bending to get the battery detected. Okay, I still need some bit of bending, though after relieving it sort of detects. Now I have to go forward and do another thing. Now the next one is a bit one that actually requires you to have the phone open, and that is to narrow the port. And if that doesn't solve the situation, we will change the entire charging system. So we are going to narrow the port to make it a bit firm. Now to narrow the port, we shall also need to turn off this phone. Now, having powered off, I will go in and again disconnect our battery right there. So that's the port. Now to narrow it down, I'm simply going to press that a bit down. I'm going to use my key, squeeze it a bit, squeeze that a bit, and look onto the other side and see if that has gone down. Now next is to check if the cable goes right in. Well, it still goes in. Now I want to make it much firmer. Okay, I feel like that's something. Okay, and now to test whether that has worked before we go forward to actually change this charging system as a whole, let's put back our battery and confirm as to whether the phone is actually charging on simple insertion of the USB So align the connector into the socket and press it down. Okay, that's connected. Bring down our screen and then get our USB and plug it in. Let's see. So it initially detects it. Let's give it a few minutes to boot up. I don't think seconds. Proper contact at the socket, and it has gone on. Now let me first unlock it. Okay, unlocked. Now let me bend. I think it might also be my power supply supplying my USB. Look at there. So I see the Thunderbolt. So I have decided to opt to using my PC because this has actually had its fair share and has become with a bit, and it wasn't giving me a reliable source of power, so it was loose. So basically what we have done is clean the port and narrow it down, and just like that we've solved our problem of having to bend the USB into the iPhone so as to get it to charge. So yeah, so that's the beauty of history. Initially I had come with the intentions of changing the entire charging system. I guess it's not all a loss. I know most of you were quite willing to see how that is done, but I'll bring you another video of sorts so you can be able to do that. And as usual, if you have any queries, please do leave them in the comment section. Click on the like button. It goes a long way to saying thank you, and it means a lot to us. Please do share our videos and hit the subscribe button. More videos will be coming up. You never know what will work for you the best. So you see, I do not have to bend it. I get it to charge immediately. I insert, just like that. So iPhone not charging, so iPhone charging only when you bend the Thunderbolt cable pin has been solved. And how did we do that? By cleaning out all the clogging fabric and dirt that had settled into the Thunderbolt port, and that improved a bit of the charging. I needed to bend it only slightly for it to take the charger. Now the next thing we did to permanently solve the problem was to actually narrow the port by squeezing it gradually without having to deform the Thunderbolt port itself, and lo and behold, we have a perfectly charging iPhone. Now this would save you almost 100,000 if you found a sharp technician, or for you guys who have Apple Care, that's about $100 or so. Yeah, and that's how repair is. I believe you can do it at home. You just have to believe in yourself. Anyway, disclaimer: if you mess up your iPhone, it's not on me. This is just for educational purposes, but you can do it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share.